So traders, I want to give you guys a quick little update across all the stock market indices, Nasdaq, Dow, Russell, and also the S&P 500. And also I want to share with you just a pretty powerful pattern that formed in the markets for me. So let's get straight into today's market update, guys. See what's going on right now and what's the market telling me. Now, by the way, I believe the S&P 500 is getting towards the end of its move, right? And I believe there's going to be a false breakout coming to the upside, right? False breakout to the upside. So be cautious, be wary of the false breakout to the upside. I'll get to that in just a minute, especially on the S&P 500. Now, let's go have a look at the actual Dow Jones. So the Dow Jones for me, this is a short-term TA, guys, right? Short-term technical analysis. My long-term TA on Dow Jones is still this here, right? It's still this point through here. And what is this? This is the big picture Dow Jones, okay? So to me, I believe the Dow Jones is on a path of destination to 50,000. I believe that's where it's going. Now, that's the destination I believe it's going to go. How does it go there? Does it do one of two things here? This is where it gets really, really important, right? One or two things. Do we actually get a scenario number one would be we hold here for a little bit longer and then we start the breakout. Maybe for another, again, this is a weekly chart. So maybe for another month or sideways and we start the breakout and then we start to make our way up towards that 50,000 level, right? And when we do make our way up to 50,000, it's going to be trend analysis, right? So if we get that sideways movement, then it breaks out, we're probably going to do something like that. Like, you know, that's how it's going to stair step up there, right? So that's scenario number one is, do we get the breakout and do we get the straight, and then do we get there? If that happens, we could see an incredible another 6 month worth of really big movement, right? Because this first leg up here, what was that? What was that through there? That first leg up there was what? 5-6 months. Well, there you go, right? So 5-6 months of sideways, 5-6 months of bull market. Now we're just broken out. This is, by the way, traders, this pattern through here is one of the most powerful patterns that I see forming time and time again. Especially if we get some sort of channel through here. Let me show you this here. So check this out. I did promise you I'm going to share with you an amazing pattern. So whenever the market does do something like this, like we actually got something through here, whenever I do see this pattern here, right? Generally when we get this sort of major resistance level coming through here, it's not the exact same, but here, let me show you my screenshots. Like, so this is screenshots of different trades that I do and different things that I've noticed in the markets when it comes down to my trading system, and I teach you for free I teach you for free in that trading course, first link in the description there, guys. But look at this here. So this is this here is a really, really, really powerful pattern that I've noticed time and time again. And one thing I'm looking at right now when it comes to the Dow Jones weekly chart is this scenario right here, right? Is when we get the channel, we get the breakout, we get the sideways movement. Now, let's see if we can get some sort of strong large bar breaking out, because that happens, massive probability we would probably spend the next 6 months going to the upside, right? So it's a really, really, really powerful pattern. In fact, this pattern here is so powerful that today, as I speak right now, people that trade the intraday charts, this is the Nasdaq 1 minute chart. See this here? Look at this here, right? It's the exact same thing, right? We had that major resistance level, right? And what actually happened? We broke up, we went sideways. My L-shaped pattern, for you guys that know my L-shaped pattern, guess what? There's the L-shaped pattern, 1 minute on the futures markets. This pattern here works time and time again. Again, in that free course I teach you below. But as you can see here, right? So scenario number two here is exactly what I'm seeing on the Dow Jones right now. It's exactly what happened here. And then guess what? We got this, see that very big large bar through there? Really, really, really big large bar. It went straight up like that through there, right? Which is more like that. Let's actually bring this one, there we go, from there to there, right? That was that large bar there, right? That's exactly split image of what I drew, or what this setup is here. And this actually happened today. And as you can see, that was actually a really, now trading futures, guys, that's a really big move for a futures, right? Again, when you're trading futures, you know, and trading the Nasdaq, that there could have been an incredible profit, right? Especially having a big move from there. So keep an eye out for that type of a pattern, guys. But the purpose of me showing you that, and I'm always looking at these different types of patterns, either bullish or bearish. And I was actually just sharing with my coaching clients today, this exact same pattern here. And the reason I'm showing that is because I'm noticing this exact same thing on the Dow Jones. Now, you don't know definitely if it's going to break up, but what am I looking for? I'm looking for what? Let's go back to my template. I'm looking for large bar. Why was this Nasdaq 1 minute futures trade such an amazing trade? Why? Because it had the setup, right? Breakout, sideways movement, and then guess what? It had, see that real big large bar? That's the key. It's the channel, it's the breakout, it's the sideways movement, and then it's the large bar. So, what am I looking for now on the Dow Jones? To tell me when, if I was looking to buy, say, a 1 year option on the Dow Jones, which is the DIA, by the way. DIA is the ETF you'd buy. If I was looking to do that, to say we're likely to see at least a good 6 months of bull market, what would I be looking for? I'd be looking for what? I'd be looking for something like this to happen. Real good large bar, right? Something like that happens. Now, that's the big picture on the stock market, right? That's the big picture. Let's now go down to the short-term picture, right, of what's happening right now for the last, again, that's the real big picture, so keep that in mind. Now looking at the last sort of 6 months, we are definitely involved with just the channel, but we also got this sort of, you see that through there? It's like a squeezing up pattern, right, from there to there. So we are squeezing up into some form of a pattern here. The question is, what actually is that? What actually is this setting up into right now? Right, so if we bring this out all through there to there, as you can see, right, what is this actually setting up? Is this setting up for a squeeze up and then, this before the squeeze here and then a breakout? And then maybe that weekly chart's going to start to come into play. Maybe, right? So that's a really important pattern to see. Let's go look at the Nasdaq. Now, Nasdaq is still really strong right now. Really strong. Having another high low and away we go. Again, just really strong market right now. We're pushing to the upside. It's just, again, this market is just so strong right now, right? Like, looking for the downside right now, guys, is probably really risky, especially in the indices, right? Because I do believe we're probably likely to, I do believe we're going to get a really big correction, like at least a good 5 to 10% correction out of the market this year. Something that's really going to freak a lot of people out. I do believe that's coming, but when that comes, I don't know. It's just, hold on to your horses. But for now, guys, we're still developing this high low and we're still pushing up really high here on the Nasdaq. Now let's go to the S&P 500. The S&P 500, guys, is one of those markets that I honestly believe right now is getting ready for a false breakout type of a pattern. Now, what do I mean by that? We can see here that we've had this sideways movement through here. I honestly believe that we're probably going to get another push to the upside through here, right? And then that is probably going to be the end. That's going to be the end of move. And then we could possibly start to see this thing come down through here. I could be wrong, so I'm not, you won't want to trade this, but so you won't want to trade this. You probably could trade the breakout here on a shorter time frame charts. But just by looking at the markets right now, guys, where we are on the real big picture through here, and we've just been going up and up. If we do get a breakout to the upside, guys, it might follow through for the short term, but it's definitely not going to be a big move. So if you're looking to jump on a big move, that's probably not going to be it. And looking at the Russell on the absolute short-term level basis, guys, we are definitely getting this type of action happening on the Russell, right? So it's possibly through there somewhere. You could possibly have a line through there, or you could possibly even, there was a line through there, wasn't it? Now it's that through there. You have to have that line through there somewhere. It's not really relevant. We are getting this low point through here. Again, possibly, I'm just trying to get an actual trend line to try to get, is there any trend lines that I can use here? Yeah, it's probably going to be through there somewhere, right? So yeah, it'll be that level through there I'd have to use. Let's take this one off the screen. The reason why I'm not using this one here, because it's just, there's no touches here, right? But I've got a bounce here, a whole bunch of bounce there, and a whole bunch of bounce there as well too. So zooming right in now to much more, you can see what's happening here, squeezing up into this whole thing. This looks exactly like the Dow Jones, by the way, exactly like the Dow Jones. So the really powerful thing here, guys, look at this here. This is a low point, and this is another low point. If the buyers hold this level here and we start to see this thing go up like this and we start to get a breakout, it's probably going to be getting ready for another really big move to the upside.